Hi friends and welcome to the second class of Constitutional Law of India, Part 1. This is Lokesh Pathak with you and the topic for today is the Constitution of India, and we will analyze whether it is a quasi-federal constitution or if it is a federal constitution. So first of all, we will see what is a federal constitution. Let's see what are the essential characteristics of a federal constitution, and then we will analyze the Constitution of India in view of those characteristics, that whether it is federal or not. So the apart from various characteristics, the very basic characteristic with the federal constitution is that there must be a distribution of powers. If there are union and there are states under that union, then there must be a proper discrimination, a proper distinguish between the powers of union as well as states. So if in context of India we talk about it, then if, there has to be a proper distribution of powers where union will take care of national interest matters while the state will take care of the local concerns. Now another essential characteristic for federal constitution is the supremacy of constitution. It is believed or it is considered that the federal state derives its existence from its constitution. It needs to be a written constitution, it should be rigid and should have authority of courts. In Indian perspective, that can be Supreme Court, High Court and District Courts. So this all are the typical features or essential characteristic of a federal constitution. Now let's analyze from where the confusion came that whether Indian constitution is federal or not. Because if you see these characteristics, the Constitution of India satisfied majority of these. So what is the basis of a quasi-federal constitution? In Indian constitution, it is seen that the constitution empowers center to interfere in state matters and thus places state in subordinate position, which violates federal principle. So this was the finding in the famous case of State of West Bengal versus Union of India. It was AIR 1963 case. So in that case, the Supreme Court of India, it held by majority that India's constitution is not truly federal, because the reason which I just stated, because the constitution empowers center to interfere in the matters of a state and thus the state goes to a subordinate position with respect to the union, which is a violation of a federal principle. So in this case, it was held by Supreme Court with a majority from the jury that the Indian constitution is not truly federal. Hence, it is established that the Indian constitution is a quasi-federal constitution, which means there can be two interpretations for that. First is the unitary with federal principles, or second is federal with unitary principles or features. So now when these two consideration came into picture, that whether Indian constitution is unitary with federal features or federal with unitary features, because it's a blend. So Professor K.C. Were, he considered or preferred to go with the first feature. He said that it is unitary with federal features rather than federal with unitary features. So this idea was later discarded in the further case laws and the interpretations or the examinations which were made on Indian constitution. So this confusion based on this case, it happened, there was a finding, but later in the court of law, in the case laws, it was established that it is federal and not quasi-federal. But what were those examinations? We will discuss now. The first examination was taken from Article 155 of Indian Constitution, which says that the governors of the state, they are appointed by President of India. So the ultimate authority of state governance, it goes with the President of India. That makes it federal. So the first stipulation is from Article 155, which supports that the Constitution is federal and not quasi-federal. The second reference from Constitution is from Article 249, which authorizes the Parliament to make laws on state list matters. So there was no confusion, because here the supremacy of Parliament is clearly mentioned, that it can make laws on the state list matters, and hence it says that it describes Parliament's power to legislate in the matters of national interest. Another stipulation is from Article 3 of the Constitution, which empowers Parliament to form new states, and also they can alter the boundaries of existing states. So the states and their overall structure, it can be changed or introduced by the parliament. So it again says that it's federal because they have the powers. The power is centralized at one place. Apart from that, there are the provisions which relate to emergency, like Article 352, which talks about emergency due to war or rebellion. Then Article 356, which talk about emergency due to failure of constitutional machinery. Then Article 360, which talks about emergency due to financial emergency. So in view of these emergency provisions, also it is seen that the federal nature is truly justified because parliament or the president, they holds the powers. So with these stipulations from Article 155, Article 249, Article 3, Article 352 to 360, in the light of these, we can say that the Indian Constitution is federal, it's not quasi-federal. So here in this topic, it is a small topic. We have seen that from where the confusion of the quasi-federal structure of constitution came, and there was a case which made this observation and highlight because it held the decision that it is quasi-federal. Then KC where his interpretation and in the selection of the options he determined to make the quasi-federal or to justify quasi-federal nature of the constitution, and later we seen that what are the provisions in the constitution which held that it is federal and not quasi-federal. So this is all about this small topic, and in the next lecture 3 we will talk about the preamble of the constitution. What is the nature, what it says, and some case laws related to the preamble of the constitution. Thank you, bye, and take care.